The man rolled down the window. He wanted to see how deep he was buried. Mud flowed in through the window. He quickly closed the window. In just a few seconds, mud was everywhere. It seemed that he couldn't get out through the window, but just as he sat down, he heard the sound of the sunroof shattering. He quickly took out some tape and tried to use it to stop the glass from breaking, but even after covering the sunroof with tape, it didn't work. He could only grab the steering wheel lock and pull it open. It got stuck on the sunroof. Finally, it was under control. Jack breathed a sigh of relief. He picked up the bottled water and started drinking. Suddenly, he remembered that this was the last bottle of water. He considered whether he should save some, but things had already come to this. If he didn't die of thirst, he would suffocate. He might as well drink it all in one go. He found a marker pen and drew a cross. Although he had never believed in such things, he still hoped God would bless him with a way out. Jack wanted to save himself. After checking the supplies in the car, he noticed water dripping from the broken sunroof. Even though it was muddy water, the man leaned in and started sucking it up. He used a nail clipper to poke a small hole, found a card, and inserted it into the mineral water bottle. A simple water collection device was complete. The water dripped into the bottle, solving the drinking water problem. Next was how to obtain air, so he removed a tube and inserted it through the small hole in the sunroof. If he could reach the ground, not only would the oxygen problem be solved, but he could also use the pipe to signal for help. However, muddy water flowed down the tube. He quickly plugged it with newspaper, and then used the mineral water bottle cap to tie a rope and make a valve. He then crawled through the thin steel pipe. The muddy water backflow issue was resolved. At this point, Jack realized he hadn't eaten anything all day. He took out a tissue and placed it on his chest, then took out a cookie and sniffed it repeatedly. This was his last food, paired with the muddy water he had just collected. After finishing his meal, he continued working. Jack reinserted the iron pipe with the valve into the skylight, then threaded a rope through another pipe, and sealed the joint with tape. Both pipes were fully inserted, but they still didn't reach the bottom. It was clear that the man was very, very deep. As the distance increased, the friction grew stronger. The third pipe couldn't be pushed any further. He took out a jack, but it soon reached its limit. He had no choice but to find a towel to pad his shoulders, endure the excruciating pain, and slowly push the pipe upward. Suddenly, he felt the resistance ease. He took some wire and threaded it through the pipe. Suddenly, it went through. Jack took a deep breath and leaned in to look. He saw a glimmer of light inside the pipe. He took a breath of fresh air through the iron pipe, and then shouted for help as hard as he could. Whether it was because the pipe was too narrow, or because no one was outside, Jack shouted until his throat was hoarse, but there was still no response, so he came up with an idea. He used a nail clipper to cut the rope, took out some newspaper and matches, hoping to attract attention outside with smoke, but he forgot he was inside a car. Soon, the smoke filled the entire compartment.